Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Leadoff Spot. I'm Doug Williams. Today we're previewing the series between the Royals and the Yankees, and I'm joined by Chris Goff, who covers the Royals for Time Warner Cable Sports Channel in Kansas City. Chris, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Great to be on with you, Doug.
This series, obviously huge playoff implications for both teams, and a lot of people are surprised by the Royals' success this year. What has made this team so good? I know they don't hit a ton of home runs or score a lot of runs in general. Is it their pitching that has carried them thus far? Because if you look at who the Yankees will face in this series alone, it's really impressive.
No, you're absolutely right. Hey, if you're surprised, can you imagine what Kansas City's like? I mean, it's been almost 30 years since we've even sniffed the playoffs. This has been an unbelievable ride. General Manager Dayton Moore has done a very good job and has a slow build here, which is what it's going to have to be in a team in a city like Kansas City. So it's been great. Last year, the most wins we've had in, 25 years, I believe, and this year we've just been on a great pace here late in the season. We have been built basically, like you said, on pitching, and our bullpen, I believe, is the best in baseball. Our starters have come through. Everything has worked out the way that it should have. You know, every year you usually get snake bit at some point, but our pitching staff has stayed relatively healthy, and they have all worked out. I mean, Jason Vargas, the guy that we signed prior to the season, he was a guy that was sort of a questionable guy, a middle-of-the-road guy from the Angels, but he's come through big time this year. Danny Duffy has bounced back. He's still a young guy coming back from surgery, but he's looked really good. Of course, Yordano Ventura has electric stuff, 4 very good pitches, and then James Shields is the captain of the team, and he has worked out very well in that Will Myers trade. So it's been pitching. We can't hit very well as a team, but hopefully that's going to carry us into the playoffs for the first time in almost 3 decades.
And speaking of that depth in pitching, the Yankees will face Yordano Ventura on Sunday. This guy is not only one of baseball's young stars, but also a guy that can throw upwards of 100 miles an hour with ease. What would be the best strategy for the Yankees hitters in terms of attacking it?
Well, the best strategy would be just, obviously, as most pitchers, attack him early. I mean, this guy has pitched the most innings in his career by far right now. He throws in electric stuff. Like you said, he still rides 100 miles per hour pretty easily, and I think the pitching staff is trying to get him to be like, hey, I know it's cool to throw that hard, but maybe you just would dial it back a little bit, only pull out the 98 to 102 when you need it. But he's still a young guy, still learning how to pitch in the majors, but he is a guy that doesn't go very deep into games because his pitch count usually goes up pretty high, as with a lot of young pitchers. And like I said, he starts off very fast. So if you can get to him early, that is the best way to fight this guy because, like I said, he has pitched the most innings by far in his career right now, so he's just sort of playing on dealer money now.
I know we talked about how this team's pitching has really kept them afloat both in the bullpen and in the starting rotation, but in the lineup, who is the one guy that the Yankees pitching should really look out for? Is there one particular guy that they shouldn't let beat them?
Yeah, the one guy that it took him years to come around after being second overall in the draft as year he came out. But Alex Gordon is our clutch guy. We do not have a ton of clutch hitters. I mean, our offense comes in big spurts. He is a guy that has been the guy that hits the home runs in the 8th, 9th inning, and he's a defensive all-star out in left field. So. You guys have heard his name for years now. He's come around to become a perennial all-star Gold Glove type of player right now, but he has definitely stepped up as we go down this, hopefully, division pennant-winning season.
And last question I'll ask you, how important has the resurgence of Billy Butler been in these past few weeks? Since he's been playing first base, since Hosmer went down, he's really been really good.
Yeah, I think Billy has a lot of things to prove. He's taken a lot of criticism through the years as being a one-tool player, and rightfully so, though. For a lot of his career, when he got into the majors, he was built mainly on his bat. I've been through several managers and a couple of general managers that have tried to have Billy Butler work at first base, and it just never really worked out well enough to have him out there because he was sort of a defensive liability. But since Hosmer had the injury and Billy Butler stepped in, he's looked really good, and it's actually good for him because this is going to be next year is going to be an option for Billy Butler. I think the team has the option on $12.5 million for him, and for Kansas City and a guy that really only plays a glorified DH, it's only helping his status with this club and maybe other clubs if he continues to play defensively like he does. But I don't know how much time he's going to have now. Eric Hosmer's back. He played the Rangers series, and now that Hosmer's back, I don't know how many times you're going to be able to see him out on first base.
All right, Chris, that's going to do it for the Leadoff Spot. Great stuff, man. We appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks a lot, Doug.
Well, you can catch all of the coverage for this series on Yes. On Friday night, coverage on Yes will begin at 6 with BPTV, with first pitch to follow around 7:08 p.m. Saturday's game will be a 4 p.m. matinee on Fox Sports 1 with extra innings to follow on Yes. Then we're back to Yes for all your coverage on Sunday with BPTV starting at noon and first pitch around 1:08. I'm Doug Williams. See you next time, everybody.